Hello, this is Ethan Minsker from the Antagonist Art Movement. We are here in Crystal City, Virginia. It is May 19th, 2012. We are currently screening our new feature film, The Dolls of Lisbon, here at the Building Art Exhibit Art Festival, Art-O-Matic, and it's in conjunction with the DC Independent Film Festival. Let's go have a look. Does anybody have any questions?
Where are you going? I mean,
for the next art project?
Oh, just generally, the movement. Where?
Well, this film is now going to play in Hong Kong. The next art project we're doing is actually down in Ecuador, where we're going to go down there for a month. We're going to make another film about it, and we're setting up a free university.
The soundtrack is really good. Do you have CDs of the soundtrack? Or?
No, the agreement we made with the bands is that, I mean, it's all in the films, iTunes. All the bands in the film are actually bands that played our art events in New York City, so we kind of try to keep everything within family. There's kind of like this secret thing of rock and roll sort of royalty that's throughout the film that I think most people don't pick up. Fab from the Strokes did one of the pieces in there, and then Arturo, of course, connected to the Ramones. The guy Michael H. is the designer who had like the kind of the punk rock hair. He's a designer that does like the Rolling Stones and basically every major rock band. He designs like a lot of their clothing for them. We had a lot of connection with like the music stuff through that, but the bands obviously that we're picking are bands that are, you know, just up and coming and stuff like that.
Is this popular in Lisbon now every year? Or?
They're trying to do it every year, but like we were right, the timing that we did that was like kind of the perfect timing, because 2 weeks later they had the G8, so all the world leaders came, and then the city was on lockdown, and we couldn't have been running around doing the stuff we were doing in the streets and get away with it. And then a month or two after that, the European collapse happened, so all the funding got cut. With this, the city provided us with apartments. They provided us with the building and like some of the art supplies and stuff like that. But if you went there now, I don't know how much the city could really provide as far as funding.
So where are all these antagonists in the world?
The majority of the stuff that we have that's active is especially New York City, Ecuador, Berlin, and Portugal right now.
How does it work? How do you go about having more or attracting them, or why those countries?
Typically people contact us. So like this is actually a sequel to another film we did called This is Berlin, Not New York. So like the guys from Ecuador saw a video that we did that was on the Wooster Collective site, which is kind of this big sort of like site in New York where people from all over the world watch it. And then they contacted us, and then that's how the Ecuadorians were involved in the film, and then us going to do the next project there, hopefully. But the point is always to try to spread it out to another country and then develop those artists and have them building their own communities. So we have a lot of communities that are modeled after what we do in New York, which is just provide venues for artists, ask a bar or a location to donate a venue, and then allow artists to show without having to worry about the economic turnaround. And the function of a gallery in New York is you have to pay, the artwork has to pay everything related to the bills of that gallery. And that's fair because New York is expensive. But that also means most artists absolutely don't have a chance to show in New York because you can't guarantee that. So the smaller galleries in New York then started doing a guarantee where you had to pay them $2,000 to show if they did not sell $2,000 in work. So again, even the smaller artists, most of them couldn't afford that. So we would provide venues and bars. We did this once a week for 12 years, and that's how we generally found most of the artists that we worked with in all the projects that we do.
Just in New York?
Generally, yeah, just New York. We do shows in other cities. We just did Richmond, Virginia 2 weeks ago for the Art Wino. Like we go to whatever city kind of invites us to do it. We show up anywhere. We're like bums.
There's a lot about it not being commercial here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, somewhere in the film, there's a statement that you're here to represent the economic interests of the artists.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you'd reconcile that for me.
These are generally artists that no one's going to care about, generally unknown in the large scheme of the New York art market, in the art world. So just by trying to give them presence, whether it's in a film or one of the online videos, that's the major thing, is trying to give them exposure, so then people then go look them up and look for them. But it's also like more, you know, the individual artists that we work with, we also do really try to mentor them and school them in how to be more professional. Like in the film, it's do not get drunk at your own art opening. That's just like a dumb thing to do. Like the older artists mentor the younger artist in the group. And the age range is like from 20 to, you know, 50, 60. There's like usually 30 to 50 active members, and then there's over 3,000 artists associated. So that means like people who float in and float out. Over the 12 years that we've been doing it, you know, people, it's like high school, there's always a graduating class and new people coming in.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been a kind of effort to spread it to other cities in the US.
We have people that have replicated our group, but we tell them don't use our same name for the simple fact that, you know, we can't predict what kind of trouble we may get into, and we can't predict what kind of trouble they'll get into. So you don't want it reflecting on either group if somebody's doing something too out of hand, because it's a bunch of, you know, street artists and it's a large group. And we've had some guys that, you know, like in our group, we have guys that get arrested for the street art fairly often, you know.
Do you keep in touch with them? Like you kind of...
We do. We do the same mentoring thing and give advice and stuff like that. We feel like this is actually very sort of goes in hand with a lot of the Occupy Wall Street stuff. A whole lot of artists that are like fed up with the economic situations that they're in. How do you sort of reconcile that? You know, what do you do when you want to do something passionate, but clearly you're going to have a job that pays the bills. You know, so it's like, how do you do that? We have a lot of free online content. If you go to antagonistmovement.com, there's all that stuff. So please let people know that these exist, because that's kind of how this stuff works. The more people that know about it, the more people that then invite us to do things, and the easier it is to do the next one. I don't think I can even say anything else.